My beloved child, hear me now with the fullness of your spirit. For this message is not casual, not gentle, not soft. It is urgent. This is not one of many whispers you can scroll past. Not just another stirring in your chest to be ignored. This is a divine alarm from the throne room of heaven itself. I, the Lord your God, have sent forth this word like fire from my mouth. Because the time to act is now. The time to see clearly is now. The time to choose wisely is now. There are moments in history and destiny when the heavens grow heavy with purpose and the veil between the spiritual and the natural becomes paper thin. You are standing in such a moment now. A crossing is before you. And what you do in the next moments, the next hours, will echo for years to come. That is why this word was drawn to you, not by algorithm, not by curiosity, but by divine orchestration. The weight you felt recently, that sudden tightness in your chest at midnight, the dreams you couldn't explain, the overwhelming sense that something unseen is watching, waiting, those were not coincidences. That was me trying to get your attention. That was my spirit, stirring your spirit, waking it from slumber. You were not meant to be numb. You were not created to sleepwalk through this season. I have seen you walking, smiling, even laughing, but your soul has been unsettled. You have sensed something shifting in the atmosphere around you. This message is the confirmation. You were right to be alert. You were right to hesitate. That inner pause you felt was not fear. It was discernment. I placed it there. And now I am removing the silence. Child, this moment is sacred. It is not just another piece of content. It is not for the masses. It is not entertainment. It is a heavenly interruption. Because you were going too fast, too distracted, too entangled. I had to stop you. I had to call your name again loudly. For too long you've been surrounded by noise. Voices that smile with their words but carry daggers in their tone. You have been at the edge of something dangerous, and your enemies thought you would never see it. But I am God, and I reveal what is hidden. I expose what others tried to bury. And today, I have pulled you into a divine revelation, not to shame you, not to frighten you, but to awaken you. You must stop what you are doing and hear this in full. If you leave this message midway, if you assume this is not for you, you will miss the breakthrough I assigned to your name before you were born. I am not a God who sends vague riddles. I am a God who sends clear warnings before destruction. I am a God of mercy, but I am also a God of timing. And your timing is now. I did not draw you here just to be inspired. I drew you here to be transformed. Listen closely. The enemy has launched something targeted, something specific, something engineered to look harmless. But it is not. It is a trap, and I have come to reveal it before it closes around you. You were not supposed to hear this message until later, but I accelerated the delivery. That's why you are hearing it now. I changed the flow of events, so you would be intercepted by grace, because you matter that much to me, because I saw what was forming in the dark, and I refused to let you walk into it unarmed. This is a serious message, my child. And if you feel your heart quickening, if your body feels heat or chills, if tears come from nowhere, that is your spirit recognizing that this moment is divine. Do not turn away. I have started this word with fire, and I will finish it with light, because what I say next will illuminate things around you that you thought were innocent, but they were never meant to stay. You have entered a spiritual courtroom now. The angels are watching. Heaven is listening, and the next step you take must be done with clarity, not confusion. So stay with me. Stay alert, and most importantly, stay obedient. My child, understand this with the depth of your being. This message did not find you by mistake. You did not stumble upon it. And it is not an accident that your ears are hearing this, that your spirit is stirring, and that your attention is fixed right now. This moment has been appointed. Heaven has arranged it with precision. You must realize that everything in your life has been converging for this instant. Every delayed answer, every quiet prayer, every restless night. None of it was wasted. None of it was unseen. The heavens have been active on your behalf. While you slept, while you cried, while you questioned whether I still hear you. Yes, I do. I always have. And now I speak. Not in the shadows, but in open clarity. This message has pierced through layers of interference. The distractions, the lies, the doubt, all of it was sent to keep you from this moment of divine truth. But you have made it. You have survived long enough, endured faithfully enough, held on tightly enough that you are now worthy to receive what only a few are chosen to hear. You may feel like nothing in your life has aligned lately, that people have drifted, that things have slipped through your hands, that you've been walking with no map. But I tell you today, heaven has been the map. I have been guiding you even when you didn't feel led. I have been speaking even when you didn't hear the words. I have been pulling you here, not just to inform you, but to rescue you. My words to you are like keys. They are unlocking chambers of your spirit that have been closed by fear, fatigue, and trauma. The numbness you felt, that's been spiritual resistance. But now as you hear this, as you soak in these words, something inside you is being revived, not just encouraged, but awakened. You thought it was just another day. You thought you'd keep going like normal, but I sent angels ahead of you to clear the path, to protect the signal, to ensure this word would be delivered straight to your soul. That feeling of divine timing you sense right now. It's real. I orchestrated every second to lead you here. You needed to hear this before you made the next decision, before you replied to that message, before you stepped into that space, before you accepted that invitation. Because, child, the enemy has laid something that looks like favor, but it's a counterfeit. It's been dressed up in charm, cloaked in flattery, and disguised as destiny. But it is not from me, and this word was sent to expose it. You were about to step into a trap, smiling. But now I have paused you. I have caught your attention, and I am revealing what no eye has seen and no ear has heard. Yet I am whispering it to your soul right now. This is a divine download. Heaven has opened its chambers and poured this into the atmosphere just for you. If your spirit is trembling, that's not fear. It's alignment. It's a sacred knowing that this is not just a message. It is a miracle in motion. Every sentence you've heard is unlocking something. Every phrase is loosening a chain. Every word is pushing darkness back. My child, the reason this message feels like it's speaking directly to you is because it is. I have written it on the tablets of your heart. Before time began, I saw this moment and prepared it for you. That's why you're here. That's why you couldn't look away. That's why your spirit leapt when the first line was spoken. This is not coincidence. It is covenant. It is a fulfillment of a divine promise you forgot you made. A vow your spirit made with me, in the quiet of your prayers, in the stillness of your pain, and I have kept my word, even when you thought I was silent. Now lift your eyes. Let your heart receive this next part, because I am about to take you deeper into the revelation. I am about to show you exactly what has been operating in your surroundings. Stay with me, my child. You have sensed it for weeks. Something isn't right. The air around you has felt heavier, your energy has felt drained, and moments of clarity have been interrupted by waves of confusion. You've walked into rooms where your spirit recoiled. You've had conversations that left your heart unsettled, and yet you couldn't quite explain why. That is because something has been hiding in plain sight, masked as normalcy, cloaked in routine, but laced with danger. There is a hidden danger around you, one that has been forming quietly while you've been preoccupied with the weight of everyday life. This danger does not wear a frightening face. It wears a familiar one. It does not announce itself with thunder. It whispers with false comfort. You've ignored your instincts, dismissed the odd tension, chalked up the strange coincidences to bad luck or fatigue. But I have seen what you could not see. I have observed the spiritual setups being positioned like chess pieces around your life. Someone has been sowing seeds of sabotage near you, not in the distance, close, not with obvious hatred, but with carefully disguised manipulation. You must understand this. The enemy does not always roar. Sometimes he smiles. And in your life, someone who claims to care has been intentionally derailing your steps, delaying your progress, and corrupting your peace. They've studied your patterns, tracked your emotions, and tailored their words to match your expectations. But their heart is not aligned with yours. They have been assigned, knowingly or unknowingly, to bring destruction. And I am uncovering it now before the destruction becomes visible. This person has not only walked beside you, they've been allowed into your sacred spaces, spoken over your life, even prayed with you. But their presence is not pure. Their intentions are not clean. The spiritual environment around them is tainted, and they are carrying into your atmosphere things I never intended for you to carry. You felt the spiritual residue after speaking to them, the anxiety that creeps in, the doubts that surface, the sleep that becomes restless. These are not coincidences. These are signs. I have placed alarms in your soul, and this message is the final siren before the storm. The danger is not coming. It is already here, camouflaged by routine, softened by history, and justified by emotion. But child, I love you too much to let it remain undetected. That tightness in your chest, that shift in your dreams, that pattern of everything falling apart, the moment this person enters your space, that is not psychological, it is spiritual, and I am commanding you now to see it clearly. You must rise in awareness and separate what is familiar from what is holy. Just because something is close does not mean it is safe. Just because it feels nostalgic does not mean it is blessed. This danger has been growing in silence, and now it seeks to bear fruit. But I will not allow it to prosper if you obey my voice. This is your warning, child. Do not ignore the uneasy feelings. Do not push aside the visions I have shown you. Do not question the clarity you feel while listening to this. It is not paranoia. It is prophecy. The enemy has tried to make you question your discernment, to make you feel dramatic or overly sensitive. But I am God, and I confirm today that what you have been sensing is true. There is danger near. And I have sent this word to snatch you out of it before it wraps around you completely. This is not just a matter of protecting your comfort. It is about protecting your calling. The enemy isn't just after your peace. He's after your purpose. He's after your voice. He's after your future. But I am here now, and I am revealing every shadow that has dared to hide near your light. My beloved child, it is time for you to see clearly who has truly stood beside you, and who has only pretended to. There are faces around you that have worn the mask of friendship, but have not been friends. There are people who have laughed with you, celebrated you in public, supported you on the surface, but behind the veil of their praise lies a different story, one laced with envy, insecurity, and hidden resentment. These are the ones I now expose, not to harm you but to free you. You have been embracing betrayal, unknowingly, feeding relationships that feed off you, pouring into cups that leak the moment your back is turned. They've called you friend, but behind closed doors they have questioned your every move, doubted your sincerity, and mocked the very favor I placed on your life. They smile with you, but they secretly can't bear to see you rise. They hug you, but inside they cheer for your downfall. And though they've shared your space, they've never shared your heart. I am the God who sees behind smiles and hears behind silence, and I've heard their true voice, the one they only use when they believe no one is listening. I've heard the passive comments, the secret doubts, the strategic silences that reveal their true posture toward you. You've wondered why certain people suddenly grow distant when you speak of your dreams, why your success is met with lukewarm praise, why your hard moments are met with spiritual advice that subtly shames instead of strengthens you. That is because they were never assigned to your destiny. They only attached themselves to your struggle, and now that I am lifting you, their true hearts are exposed by the pressure of your elevation. Some people were only meant to walk with you through the wilderness, not into the promised land. But you've been dragging them with you out of loyalty, out of shared history, out of fear of being alone. But child, obedience must come before comfort. You cannot be loyal to what heaven is trying to remove. You cannot cling to hands that carry curses while I'm trying to hand you a blessing. I know this is hard to hear. I know it cuts deep, but I'd rather cut now than let the infection spread. There are people around you who have studied your patterns, memorized your weaknesses, and positioned themselves as trustworthy. But they are wolves in familiar clothing. They are not just jealous. They are actively working to slow you down, not in ways that are always visible, but in subtle spiritual sabotage, words laced with discouragement, counsel that always cast doubt, celebrations that feel hollow. They plant fear in your dreams, and then offer to pray it away. But I am exposing them now because you've tolerated too much, explained away too many red flags, forgiven what I never asked you to permit, and now you are at a crossroad. If you continue to carry these false friends into your next season, you will carry unnecessary warfare as well. I am not calling you to hatred. I am calling you to clarity. You can love someone and still recognize they are not aligned with your assignment. You can be kind and still draw boundaries. You can walk in grace and still refuse to walk with those who manipulate it. I am giving you discernment in this hour. Trust it. I am lifting the veil so you can make decisions with eyes wide open. You've been praying for peace, but I cannot give it if you're still connected to those who disrupt it. You've asked for favor, but I cannot release it fully if you remain in covenant with those who secretly curse it. This is the season of separation, and though it may feel like loss, it is actually protection. I am pruning your circle so I can expand your calling. I am silencing the echo of fake friendship so you can hear my voice more clearly. You do not owe anyone access to the new you I am building. Let them go. Release the need to explain, to justify, to defend your discernment. The people I've called you to will understand your silence better than the people I'm calling you away from will understand your explanations. Let your spirit lead. Let your clarity speak, and let your obedience protect you. My child, now that your eyes have been opened to the false alliances and counterfeit affections around you, it is time to uncover the trap itself, the very mechanism of destruction that has been carefully and quietly set in motion. This is not an ordinary attack. It is not random. It is not accidental. It is a calculated trap, crafted in the spirit realm, disguised with precision to mimic opportunity, connection, and comfort. It has been formed using your past patterns, your emotional triggers, your deepest insecurities. The enemy has studied you, child. He has watched how you respond when you feel lonely, how you react when validation is withheld, how you retreat when conflict arises. He knows your vulnerabilities, and he has instructed his agents, human and spiritual, to weaponize those very places against you. The trap is relational. It looks like reconciliation. The trap is familiar. It sounds like closure. The trap is emotionally convincing. It appeals to the deepest part of you that still longs to be seen, known, and embraced. But hear me clearly now. This trap was built with spiritual intent, to extract your focus, drain your anointing, and interrupt your journey. It was never meant to destroy you quickly. It was designed to erode you slowly, until one day you no longer recognize the fire you once carried. That's why it has come softly. That's why it wears the face of someone you once loved. That's why it's dressed in timing that seems too perfect to question. But I am not a god of deception. I bring light into dark places, and I am exposing this now before you walk into it unknowingly. You were never meant to carry this weight. You were never supposed to entertain this distraction. What feels like a reunion is actually a redirection meant to pull you back into old cycles, patterns I delivered you from. The door you closed was sealed for a reason, but now the enemy is knocking through familiar voices, hoping your compassion will answer instead of your discernment. Do not be fooled. Every word they speak, every gesture they offer, has been rehearsed in spiritual darkness to catch you off guard. Their message will sound genuine. Their motives will seem humble. But child, I am the God who searches hearts, and I tell you today what they offer is poison laced with honey. What they carry is not peace, but manipulation. The trap is designed to reattach you to the very trauma you prayed to be healed from. They will speak the right words, recall sweet memories,
maybe even shed tears, but I see their true intent. They want access, not for restoration, but for disruption. They want to stand beside you, not to support, but to observe, to gather, to report. But I have stepped in. I have interrupted this assignment. I have confronted it with this message, because you have reached a spiritual threshold. If you step into the wrong space now, the consequences will be heavier than ever before, not because I will leave you, but because you have grown too much to pretend you do not see. The trap loses power the moment you name it. The deception loses hold the moment you see it for what it is. That is why I'm naming it now. That is why I'm giving you language for what your spirit has already sensed. Walk away. Do not respond to the invitation. Do not reply to the message. Do not second-guess the pause I've placed in your heart. I gave you peace when that door was closed, and I will not allow confusion to reopen it. The trap is spiritual, but your obedience is more powerful than its design. If you heed my voice now, what was meant to bind you will collapse under the weight of your clarity. If you turn away now, I will reroute every plan of the enemy and accelerate your steps into place he can no longer follow. This is your line in the sand. This is your spiritual exit. Do not look back. I have greater ahead. You are too chosen to walk into something so counterfeit. Let your spirit obey even when your emotions do not understand. This trap was custom made, but so was your deliverance.
My child, you must now understand the difference between what they see and what I see, between the chaos they walk in and the clarity I have poured into your spirit. The people around you may seem confident in their plans, certain in their logic, bold in their assumptions, but they are building on sand. Their confidence is not rooted in revelation, but in deception. Their words may sound sure, but they are speaking from places of brokenness and pride. Do not be intimidated by their numbers or their noise. I have not called you to follow the crowd. I have called you to follow my voice, and my voice is not echoing in confusion. It speaks in clarity, with direction, precision, and peace. Their confusion is the result of spiritual blindness. They move fast, but without discernment. They speak often, but without wisdom. They are trying to pull you back into systems, cycles, and stories that no longer match your assignment. But you have been set apart. You have been given vision, while they still cling to illusion. They will not understand your silence. They will question your distance. They will accuse you of arrogance, of coldness, of change. But do not let that move you. I am the one who changed you. I am the one who shifted your perspective. And what they interpret as pride is actually protection. I've surrounded you with a hedge they cannot cross. Their confusion is not your burden to fix. Your only responsibility is obedience. I am not calling you to explain yourself to those I've separated you from. You owe no clarity to those who would only use it to twist your truth. My child, clarity from me is never chaotic. It does not torment the mind or cloud your peace. It arrives with quiet confidence, like still waters that run deep. That's why you've felt the stillness lately, even amid the chaos. That's why you've experienced moments of piercing insight, sudden understanding, and divine certainty even when the world around you feels like it's spinning. That is my spirit at work. That is your gift of clarity being activated. The enemy will try to steal this clarity. He'll attempt to smother it with doubt, with overthinking, with the opinions of others. He'll whisper, "Maybe you misunderstood. Maybe you're just being dramatic. Maybe you're the problem." But I silence those lies right now. You heard me correctly. You discerned accurately. And what you know in your spirit must now be honored with action. Do not let anyone talk you out of the clarity I gave you in secret. Do not let their confusion cloud your confirmation. They do not know what I revealed to you in the midnight hour. They do not see what I showed you in dreams. They were not there when your spirit groaned with no words and I translated those groans into strategy. So stop shrinking your vision to make others comfortable. Stop explaining your convictions to those who want to debate instead of understand. Let your clarity speak for itself. It will show in your decisions, in your peace, in your progress. They will see you move differently. They will see you rise unexpectedly. And though they may not comprehend, they will not be able to deny that you were hearing something higher. My child, hold tight to what I've shown you. Write it down. Speak it only when I lead. Protect it like a seed, for in time it will bloom publicly what I planted privately, and the same people who mocked your silence will marvel at your harvest. I am not a god of confusion. I do not send mixed signals. I do not bait and switch. I speak once and then confirm again. If you have clarity, it is because I have spoken. Walk in it boldly. It is your compass now, my precious child. If you listen, truly listen, and obey the words I've delivered into your heart today, you will witness a transformation so divine, so undeniable, that even your enemies will be silenced. If you align your steps with my voice, if you let go of what I told you to release, if you walk away from the trap I've exposed, then you will enter into a season that no man, no spirit, no past can interfere with. Doors that were sealed shut will begin to swing open, not just barely, but wide and fully. You will see opportunities align effortlessly, divine connections appear, and clarity fall upon your path like morning dew. What felt heavy will begin to lift. The mental fog that's hovered for weeks, the inexplicable tension, the constant second-guessing, those will all dissipate because your obedience clears the spiritual clutter. If you follow me, you will move with ease. The things you've been striving for in your own strength will begin to chase you instead. Provision will locate you not because you begged for it, but because your posture made you a magnet for my blessing. You will no longer have to fight so hard for what I've already assigned to you. The attacks will still come, but they will fail faster. The weapons will still be formed, but they will not prosper. Your enemies will still watch, but they will not understand how favor continues to find you even in silence. And it won't be because you defended yourself. It will be because you obeyed me. Your peace will become undeniable. Your sleep will return. Your laughter will no longer feel forced. Your dreams will no longer torment you. The divine stillness you've been craving will return like a flood, and you'll know it wasn't because you fought harder, but because you listened when I spoke. I will surround you with people who see you correctly, who speak life instead of confusion, who call out your purpose instead of magnifying your mistakes. I will reorder your circle. You will begin to feel the difference between those who were leeches and those who are lifelines. I will refresh your soul. I will pour back into the places that were drained from pouring into the wrong ones, and you will rise not just in visibility, but in spiritual authority. You will walk into rooms and shift the atmosphere without a word. You will speak and see breakthrough. Follow your voice. You will touch what was once broken and see it made whole. My spirit will move through you not as a guest, but as a resident. You will prophesy without effort. You will discern without guessing. You will pray and know I've heard you because the distance will be gone. Child, if you listen to me now, I will fast-track your healing. I will recover the lost years. I will redeem the missed moments. I will accelerate your journey because you didn't hesitate when I asked for your obedience. You've asked me for confirmation. This is it. You've asked me for a sign. This is it. You've waited for peace to return. This is how it comes, not through delay, but through decision. So choose to listen, choose to trust, choose to move forward, even if it feels lonely at first. Because where I'm taking you, not everyone can follow, but what I've prepared for you, eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, and hearts haven't imagined. It is glorious, and it is waiting just on the other side of your obedience. My child, I speak these words not to strike fear, but to awaken truth. For you must know that every act of disobedience carries a cost, and ignoring this message, this urgent divine interruption, would not leave you unchanged. If you hear my voice today and choose to dismiss it, to delay it, or to doubt it, the consequences will not be delayed either. The trap that I've revealed to you will not simply disappear. It was crafted with precision, and if you walk into it knowingly, the unraveling that follows will be deeper than before. The confusion will multiply. The peace you once had will feel foreign. What was merely uncomfortable will become unbearable, because to disobey a divine warning is to choose blindness when sight has already been restored. I am not condemning you. I am warning you, as any loving father would. If you go back to what I told you to leave, you will find that it no longer fits. You will feel spiritually suffocated. The same people who smiled in your face will now start to take from your soul in ways that break you down, not build you up.
Conversations will feel heavy, relationships will grow toxic. You will find yourself questioning the very clarity I gave you, and soon the silence will return, not because I am not speaking, but because your disobedience will deafen your ears, and yet I would still be near, I would still wait, I would still long for your return. But the path back will be longer, the restoration slower, the healing deeper and more painful, because when you ignore divine instruction, you walk into delay, not just in your destiny, but in your spirit's development. The battles you've already won will start to resurface in new forms. Old temptations will feel stronger, old fears will become louder, and you'll wonder, why is this happening again? The answer will be clear, because you chose the voice of familiarity over the voice of the Father. I've shown you the faces, I've exposed the trap, I've given you the blueprint to escape. But if you return to it, it will be more dangerous than before, not because I've withdrawn, but because you will have voluntarily stepped outside of my covering, and outside of my covering, even your gifts become vulnerable, even your favor becomes frustrating, even your strength becomes strained. My child, the enemy knows you're marked. If he cannot destroy you, he will distract you, and if he can't distract you, he will deceive you into believing you're still safe while standing in disobedience. Do not let your own heart betray you. Do not let your desires override your discernment. You've come too far, seen too much, and survived too many battles to fall now, not because you didn't know, but because you refused to act on what you knew. You do not have to earn my love, but you must walk in my will to experience my full protection. There are places you cannot go anymore, people you cannot entertain anymore, patterns you cannot return to. I love you deeply, but I will not bless rebellion. And ignoring this message would be rebellion cloaked in hesitation. So hear me now. If you choose to stay where I've called you from, it will cost you, not my presence, but your peace, not my voice, but your ability to perceive it, not my love, but your ability to live in the fullness of it. Choose wisely, child. Choose obedience over opinion. Choose destiny over comfort. Choose clarity over confusion, for the time is now, and this moment will not wait forever. Now, my child, I give you your instructions, not vague, not complicated, but clear, simple, and urgent. First, be still. Let the noise around you fall away. Let the voices of doubt and distraction fade into silence. I want you to sit in my presence, and remember who I am. I am the Lord your God. I see all, I know all, I protect all who trust in me. Second, separate. This is the time to release what I've asked you to let go. Do not wait for closure. Do not expect apologies. Do not seek explanations. I am your justification. I am your confirmation. Break ties with anything and anyone I have exposed. Bless them, but move on. Third, sanctify your space. Cleanse the environment around you. Speak life into your home. Remove what carries old energy. Gifts from people I've removed. Reminders of past pain. Open doors through media or objects that give the enemy access. Speak my name aloud in your dwelling and declare that it belongs to me. Fourth, realign. Recommit yourself to my word, to prayer, to listening. Stop chasing answers from outside voices and come back to my voice. I want to speak to you directly again, not through confusion, but through intimacy. Make space in your day for me, not out of duty, but because your destiny depends on it. Fifth, obey swiftly. From now on, do not delay when I speak. If I say go, go. If I say wait, wait. If I say forgive, forgive. Your breakthrough is connected to your response time. I am accelerating things in your life, but I will only accelerate what is aligned. And finally, remain faithful. I know this walk hasn't been easy. I know it's cost you sleep, tears, friendships, and even peace of mind. But you're still standing. And because of that, I am about to reward you openly for what you endured privately. Do not look back. Do not second guess. Do not dilute what you now know to be true. Walk boldly, my child, for I am with you. I have gone before you. I am surrounding you, and I will never leave you. Watch what I do next, not just for you, but through you. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are chosen. And this was your serious message, straight from God.